Lately I've been seeing a lot of ads for these things. And I bought it, and yeah, it's pretty much just an expensive fridge magnet for me. Anytime that I watch one of the ads for these things, the FreakMount cell phone mount, it shows off a bunch of dudes on stunt dynas, ripping around, having a great time. And, you know, I got sucked in. I thought, wow, that'll be really cool. Yeah, this is a pretty basic, just magnetic cell phone mount, and pulls apart like that and just kind of sandwiches your cell phone onto it. And it's a pretty basic, easily removable cell phone mount. And like they advertise that that it's not going to move, your phone's not going to fall off, none of that stuff. And honestly, my phone migrates down my gas tank as soon as I reach about 90 kilometers an hour, around 100, maybe 90 or 100 kilometers an hour on that thing. And yeah, I was pretty disappointed with it. So instead of bashing the product itself right away, what I did was I emailed the company and I just asked them what kind of R&D they were doing, and if they used Androids or iPhones or what they were using. And they said that their test mules, they were using whatever the iPhone Pro Max was at the time. So I've got a Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, and it fits in the mount. And as soon as I've got it magnetized onto the tank, it's all right. But as soon as I get up to highway speeds, like the cell phone starts sliding down the tank, and you just can't have that. So unfortunately, when I reached out to the company and I asked them about potential solutions or what could be done about that situation, they really didn't want to offer a whole lot of solutions. Like I wasn't looking for a refund or for them to send out like a second one or anything. Like I genuinely just wanted to know if there was if they had a stronger model available, and it seemed like they were just kind of trying to brush me off. Like, so that's why I think that product is not that great. That cell phone mount, not a very good term for it, at least for me anyway. That's why that's pretty much just a fridge magnet for me. And my cell phone just stays in my pocket. Truth be told, cell phone should probably be in your pocket anyway. But I've got a nice bar-mounted cell phone mount that came on my Street Glide. Last week, when the bike was throwing all those codes for that right-hand control module, it was kind of nice to be able to read the codes on my cell phone. But I was too afraid to ride the bike down the highway because I didn't want to lose my cell phone off the tank and have it fly out behind me, because, well, cell phones are not cheap. I shouldn't say that the product itself is awful. I think that it's just not that great for somebody that's got a larger cell phone. And I was just disappointed with how the customer service was handled with that. Anyway, they're like $60 or $80 or something. At first, when I was using it, like if my phone was in my pocket, I just have it underneath the tank right there. I mean, like nobody wants to leave a cell phone mount on their bike. Like it looks terrible. I'm sure there's probably about 40 or 50 people that'll watch this video and go, Sportsters are a girl's bike and they don't look good. But I think it looks cool. And honestly, I'd put the parts on that bike that I like because I like the way it looks, and I really don't care what anybody else thinks. I just think it's funny, some of the opinions. But anyway, probably right about here is where I'm going to throw in a couple clips of that mount sliding down my gas tank. It's just disappointing. I'm going to go grab my phone off the charger and I'll show you how it sits. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that this is total trash, but I'll just show you how this thing fits up. So also, I run a pretty thick case on this phone. That's another thing. Most people with cell phones put a case on them. It just kind of goes across like that. Holds onto it pretty snug, honestly. But yeah, this one, I try to put it like on the flattest portion possible and just have it right there. And I can't have it right here, because it's on kind of like a rolled edge, you can see that kind of flapping around a little bit. That's not a very good spot for that. Pretty much the only spot that works is right there. When I ride, this just kind of wiggles and makes its way down the tank. Right there, I was like, I mean, sitting here and pulling the phone, like that magnet's really strong. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And the magnet's strong enough that I can just pull my phone right out of the mount itself. But when I'm riding along, just the vibration from Harley V-twin, it just migrates its way down. And once it gets to about right here, that's where I draw the line, pick it back up, and put it up here. Another side note, lens protectors on cell phones, great idea. On my Canmore trip that I went on, I think it was last month with my buddy, a rock kicked up and it hit the lens on my phone right there and it shattered. But because when I bought this thing, I bought like a screen protector and lens protectors. Thankfully, it only broke the lens guard. So thankfully, I just pulled it off and there was no damage to the inside. Yeah, kind of a side note. Get lens guards if you're going to use your cell phone on your motorcycle, because you never know what's going to happen. As far as the cell phone mount goes, like that looks awesome. It's perfect. When you want to get going, you just pull it off and then she's gone. And you can magnetize that mount underneath your tank, throw it in a saddlebag, whatever. I don't really know anybody with a bagger that would use that. I guess also the center console on the bagger, it probably wouldn't sit too good there, but I suppose you could probably have it like right there. But again, this thing having Android Auto where I can just plug it in and run it all off the screen, that works perfectly for me. I know that not everybody that has a touring bike has the satellite navigation system on there. That's just my experience. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling on here about this mount. But yeah, looks department, 10 out of 10. Usability, probably like a 7 out of 10. Value for money, depending on what phone you have, could be a 10 out of 10, could be a 5 out of 10. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's complete garbage, but it doesn't really work for my application, unfortunately. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on that. Just flew off my bike. I got to double back and hopefully it didn't get run over or lost. Probably is. Once I finally made it to my hat, I discovered pretty quickly what happened. So the snapping portion of the snapback actually ripped out of the hat, and that's why it let go and flew off my handlebar. I don't know if I can fix it or not, but it is what it is. A little bit of a follow-up from last week. I did some digging on the right-hand control module for that bike. And oh my God, trying to track one of those down has been such a pain in the butt. There's maybe there's only 2 companies that I was able to find that manufacture one. There's V-twin Industries and Drag Industries. I think it's Drag Industries. Anyway, those are the only 2 other companies that I could find that make that part, aside from like a direct OEM replacement. But unfortunately the OEM replacement has been discontinued. However, when I called a couple of the shops around town and in the city, they said that the drag specialties and... What are you doing? They said that the V-twin Industries and the Drag Industries switches were just throwing all kinds of codes, and your best bet is just to get an OEM replacement. So I called Harley, and yeah, it's $422 maple syrup dollars. That's about double what I thought it was going to cost, but am I surprised? No. That's the Harley tax. I could roll the dice on a V-twin Industries or a Drag Specialties one, but it would still be about $300 after taxes and shipping. So I figured for the extra $120, I'll get an OEM replacement, plug it in, and I just won't hit it with a pressure washer. I don't know. Anyway, that should be at the dealership in Edmonton in about 2 weeks. So depending on what my schedule is like, I might just hop on the Street Glide and ride out and go pick it up instead of waiting for it to show up in the mail. They offered to ship it right away, but I told the guy that I've got 2 bikes, and not having that module on the bike, or not having that new module for the bike, isn't really a deal breaker for my season. Oh. Also, this one's getting a haircut. That's another thing that I do at home too. I groom my own dog. Every time that I groom my dog, I figure I'm saving around $100 to $120. So I groom her every about 6 to 8 weeks. So yeah, anywhere between once a month in the hot months, and in the winter times, like every 2 months. I like to keep her a little bit shaggier in the winter, keeps her warm. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Anyway, that's pretty much going to do it for this video. See you guys next week, and as always, take care.